I've hauled containers, I've hauled tankers, I've hauled doubles, hazmat. I got the lights for everything. There's a lot of bad things about it. There's a lot of good things about it. It's not a family life. I was gone 3 weeks out of a month. Mess you up a little bit because you know you want to be home with your wife and your family. This is totally different. I never thought of a truck driver to sell. I mean, how many people have?
Jeff Runyons left trucking to work for Starsky Robotics. He's one of the first test drivers who has made the leap to driverless trucks. An autonomous future will mean an earthquake-level disruption in the American job market. With 5 million professional drivers on the road in the U.S., Goldman Sachs estimates that we could see as many as 300,000 jobs disappearing annually once autonomous vehicles are adopted. And Silicon Valley doesn't seem very concerned.
From a pure driver perspective, I think the wave of automation that's coming is very threatening. There's no doubt that a truck driver, a bus driver, someone who drives for either taxi companies or these on-demand companies like Uber and Lyft, they're at risk. You've never been able to stop automation. I think the issue is not whether you're going to stop it, because I think history shows you don't stop it. I think the issue is how do you implement it? What's the responsible way to do it? Who has an obligation to worry about the working people?
This isn't a new story. We've already seen the reaction to disruption that technology can cause. Taxi drivers around the world have risen up against ride-sharing companies. Uber is even banned in some cities. What will happen when millions of jobs go up in smoke, and it's not even a human that's replacing you?
We're at the calm before the storm, at the cusp of coming off a major cliff. Autonomous vehicles are going to be the leading edge of that. That is going to be a moment that's going to change us. I think this is going to be the next shoe to drop.
Like trucking, ride-sharing companies that employ drivers are moving quickly toward automation. Uber is testing in Pittsburgh, and Lyft has partnered with Ford and Waymo to build a fleet of driverless cars. The big 3 auto companies are investing in driverless technology by spending billions to purchase autonomous driving companies. General Motors acquired Cruise Automation. Ford bought Argo AI, and Fiat Chrysler is partnering with BMW to develop driverless technology. We have to think beyond just working drivers and the auto industry. The ripple effect on jobs could affect almost all of us.
If I don't need to stop at a hotel overnight because I'm sleeping in the car, well, what will that do for rest stops and hotels and other industries? If potentially there are fewer crashes, how will that affect my job, my neighbor's jobs, repair jobs, emergency responders? How will that affect the capacity of hospitals?
There's delivery people who work for the various delivery companies, and you've got this massive influx of drones that are likely to dot the airspace, as many as 7 million in the sky at one point down the road. So it's pretty mass disruption out there. It's pretty serious stuff, and a lot of people are at risk.
Of course, there's a flip side to all this doom and gloom. Jobs as we know them will be lost, but with new technologies comes new opportunities for work. The disruption could cause short-term pain, but it'll increase long-term prosperity.
I see this as a positive, and I know it's going to be hard for some people to hear me say this, because obviously if you lose your job, it's not a good thing. But as a society, as we build technology that takes away repetitive, menial work, we've been able to become more and more creative and more educated. Anybody who's employed in driving right now, come to Udacity. We train you to be a software engineer, data analyst, what have you. And many of the jobs that people pick up after coming to us pay 6-figure salaries. I kid you not.
It's removed from reality, this idea that everybody's going to go to Silicon Valley and be an engineer.
The Bad news is that there will be an impact on jobs. The good news is that it's going to take quite a few years before we get there. So I think we have the time to put in place some new programs to train these workers to basically, for example, instead of driving a truck day in and day out, you basically go build a sensor, fix it, diagnose it, repair it, and so on. So you could actually end up getting a higher paying job, but one has to be A, willing to actually learn some new skills. B, the government agencies and nonprofit organizations need to basically step in and put these programs in place.
That leaves people like Jeff Runyons in Florida, who are already looking for opportunities in the new economy.
You got the older gentlemen that's been like myself, they don't like it because I think you're trying to take their jobs. It's going to come one way or another. We may not like it or not, but it's going to happen.